Go. There's a partridge in a pear tree. There's a partridge in a pear tree. I'm alive. No idea if I'm live or not. Is I'm live. YouTube, there we go. There's again quite a bit of a delay, I think. Uh, Can't hear my desktop audio. So, uh, actually, I was worried that this could be. There's like a 15-ish second delay. Okay. Yeah, we're starting a few minutes earlier than I intended to originally, but yeah, that's fine. I should have episode 1 and 2 of Ghost Stories dubbed here, and I do not believe I hear myself. Well, yeah, my audio from the PC itself, from my computer itself, is not here, so you can only pick up my microphone. So, starting back up with episode 1 of the English dub of Ghost Stories. Hopefully, I don't have too many problems with my YouTube. Not YouTube. I'm not watching those on YouTube. It's not on YouTube. Well, I'm talking about stream, but hopefully my 2 video episodes of Ghost Story Dub should be okay. No connectivity issues, and hopefully the stream doesn't suddenly pause and start as it did a couple of weeks ago. So the plan is, after I finish these 2 episodes and type up the basic script, I'm gonna need to write an intro, talk about how this thing became how Ghost Stories became so infamous. Then write my review. Most of my notes are already written. I want to talk about maybe clean things up a little. Who knows? I have quite a few pages worth of stuff, so I wouldn't hurt to like trim some of it down. We'll see how that goes because right now it's already like a 15, 20 minute video, and if I double that, that's gonna be a 30-minute video. Talk about 48 minutes of a not very good show. We shall see. We shall see how it goes. We shall see how far I take this. Uh, right. So, well, it's 15 minutes away for me from the original start time. I'm just gonna start the dub. Okay. There's only one dub version, right? It's not like um Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball where it's not that popular. It can't have multiple dub reruns. Here's hoping that this thing works. Oh, wait a second. Alright. I say that. Alright. Alright. Let's start with episode 1 then. There we go. Episode 1 is good. Alright. Let us begin. I have my notes here ready to start tip tapping. I'll try and remember when to pause and when to tell you, hey, minute mark. Okay, so let's start. We're already 1 second into the first episode of the English dub of Ghost Stories. And I'm gonna press play. It's just the same. Regular English dub. It's okay. First 10 seconds played straight. Who knows how much that's gonna change uh as we go along. Okay. That's pretty faithful to the original. Him asking this old man asking to not have anything to mess around. Actually, let's pause that at 27-second mark. You mentioned that. In the first intro scene starts off being played straight. Mostly a 1-for-1 translation of the show. Uh, let's see how much this changes. Oh, actually, speaking of the ghost story style, before I press play again, there is there's just what's that? That weird bug manga slash anime thing that had like special the big monster eating like a really badly campy anime movie thing based off a manga about bugs that eat the giant bugs that try to eat people. Apparently, it's really bad, and then so the English again the Japanese sub decided to give to the English dub cast just the movie and gave them carte blanche to do whatever they want, and then for whatever reason, give carte blanche to do whatever they want. Uh, I can't remember the bug movie, the bug anime movie. I'll have to search that up. I might watch that later on if I feel after I finish the Ghost Story stuff, because I'm still on episode 2, episode 1 even, and I'm only like 27 seconds in. Anyways, wrote my first word. Continuing on from 20 seconds, I get stuck up. Nothing. Right? Sigh of relief. Behind you. Okay, so that's played exactly straight. Okay. Intro music. Uh, I feel like I probably should and probably will just skip. Yeah, it sounds pretty much the same, looks pretty much the same. I'm gonna just skip the intro. We're moving past the intro to the 2 minutes and 22-second mark. Episode title displays. This played straight so far. I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting. Alright. Okay. Okay, so that's a decent adaptation. There's not much for me to say other than, well, I'll pause this at the 3-minute mark just to add in, like, interesting starts off, and alright. Seems pretty similar to original. Maybe I got the wrong dub. Who knows? Who would bother dubbing this thing twice? Honestly. It's not that good of a show. There's a reason why it made no money on it, right? Okay. So, first Guardian's experience similar to original. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the clips I saw on YouTube were faked. Maybe this is just another simple dub. Who knows? Who I'm not ghost stories. No, I'm just gonna cook. I think this. I just click search or Google. I don't think there was any more than a singular um dub version of this. So here's hoping. Ooh, okay. First joke. Okay. 311. First variation I noticed. We are hit with our first minor variation source. What's the girl's name again? I'll remember it eventually. I have it written here on my previous notes. Satsuki. Of course. At 3 minutes 11, Satsuki does mention being nervous about using dirty old bathrooms. Very minor change. I'm sure nothing will come from that. Nothing will come. Uh, Facebook Messenger's giving me a bunch of notifications from strangers. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. Okay. 320. Another joke. ad-lib line of Satsuki, uh, uh, of his father, warning her that if she sticks her head out of a car, it might fly off. Which isn't an untrue thing. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, fire rescue, Lake Park Joe. Okay, still nothing serious. Mhm. Gonna slow. I think I might have to slow down on the constant typing and searching for differences because I think I'll be here all day if I do that. Should keep this quick. All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll write that down. 340. Okay. All right. They made Grandpa funny. All right. There we go. I'm gonna have to rewatch this again when I edit this together. I need to get the appropriate clips. So, great. Okay. Pause at 352. Grandpa funny. Uh, Will is waiting for his wife to die. Okay, Grandpa funny is waiting for a wife to die. I don't know if the Grandpa will ever appear again from the show because again, I only seen the first two episodes of the sub. So, and he doesn't appear in any of the first episodes of the sub after this. So, guess it's a one-off character waiting for his beloved wife of many years to kick the bucket so he can move to Vegas. Uh, I like he can go in Vegas to Vegas. All right. Let us continue with this from 3 minutes and 52. Let's continue. Pretty simple. Okay. Pervert's still being a pervert. Okay, pause at 316. Okay. Well, Satsuki in the dub, like me, refers to pervert as the pervert. That makes sense. All right. That's good. Continuing from 416. Okay, pause at 421. All right. Pervert is, well, actually, that's not much different from the sub, where he says, "You flashed me," is still unapologetic sex pest. There we go. Let's continue from 421. Okay. All right. Very simple, very normal. Uh, let's see. Okay, that's a good joke. 4 minutes 54. Um, Father, as he drops the two at school, tells them to just say no, which is very good advice. Actually, better advice than the father in the original Japanese sub. Just not follow strangers and say no. Why didn't why does the English sub why does the Japanese father not care about his kids? Okay, continuing on from 454. That. All right. Cat runs away. As I need to commentate as I watch this as well. Jeez. They chase after the cat, going to the school as normal. Call for for Kaya's name. That's very normal. Cat sneaks into the schoolhouse as normal. They chase after him or follow after him. Uh, Big storm. Yep, everything's normal. Uh, Music plays. Seattle comes over, washes over her face. Uh, I'm gonna pause at 6:04 and say next few scenes late straight and normal like episode normal like oh my normal it itches original 6 minutes in no yeah 6 minutes in we're third quarter of the way there. Okay, 6 minutes 12 seconds. There's a joke there. All right. When was this dubbed? Because I made a Republican joke, but I guess it's always been kind of the case. Uh, until Satsuki enters building where she states that only what's called evil people will be killed, will get eaten. I mean, actually roll that back from 6 to and re-listen to that. Okay, all right. Monsters only get that only evil will be got by the monsters, like Republicans, and these two can't vote yet. And vote yet. There we go. Let us continue. 6:12. Going and playing. Alright, they do a little jump scare, the pervert and the guy with the glasses. Okay, pause at 6:25. Alright. I am glad the dub acknowledges that the boy is a really terrible person. Alright. Anyways, 6:25, continue. Okay. Alright, they explain to, that, yep, same thing. Pervert wants to leave, but they want to look for the cat, so the pervert is forced to be dragged along. Okay. Leo, the glasses nerd, is worrying about the psychic things. Okay. Yep, okay. Same basic little intro of. Okay, there's the girl. What's her name? Kusoda? Whatever. I can't remember. That's played normally. Alright. Alright. Pause, it's just 7:30. Okay, so the pervert is. So, okay. In the English dub, the pervert is definitely. Or the voice actor is the VA. The voice actor is definitely. I paused at what paused? What time am I paused at 7:30? Yeah. The English voice actor is definitely playing up to the pervert bit. Pervert bit. But it's but the rest of this is played relatively straight. I'm actually surprised that like a few people are like tuning out, but like there are actually a few people coming in and out this live stream, which is actually a bit of a shock. 7:16, I guess, my time, so people have stuff to do. People are done from work and have like 2 minutes to kill, I guess. Anyways, continuing on from 7:30, Momoko introduces herself. Momoko introduced acts normal. He explains that she's missing her hat, and the pervert and his friend are looking at. All right, pause at 8. Well, 8:15. That's just give me a second to think. Do I want to bother adding this part in? The main panty girl joke, but not much. Rest of this is like this. Introduce and acts normal. I was really expecting major character changes. Well, maybe it's only the first 8 minutes of a 20 episode of a first episode of a 20-part series, so who knows? Things might change. Uh, Oko is introduced, acts normal. A few, yeah, just a few ad libs aside. Nothing special so far. Uh, for this, nothing special so far for this section. Special so far for this section. Okay, they're exploring the hallway now. Pause 8:16. Unpause, I mean. Okay, pause at 8:26. Okay, I see. I see the character for Momoko. Momoko. All right, that was very revealing. Is a fanatic Christian, I guess? Christian in the dub, apparently. Okay, so I see the character. Sasuke plays is just herself. The pervert gets to be more of a pervert. Leo is not much of a character so far, even in the sub, so he just exists. The little brother, also just exists. Momoko is a religious zealot. Okay, there we go. Continuing on from 8:26. Okay, pause at 8:41 because those and also apparently as gift to sense the supernatural. Okay, Momoko is a religious zealot. That is, I mean, someone needs to be in this. It makes sense in a show like this for someone to be it. Anyways, 8:41. Continuing on, screaming horror as they see the statue. Okay, all right. And statue comes to life. They're scared. It chases after them. I can't hear any significant jokes being made. They run down the stairs. It's normal. Okay. Okay, pause at 9:28. Uh, what do I want to add for that part in the English dub? There's a few more. There's a few pop culture. A few more. All right. How do I want to explain this? Statue in an escape, or I mean, they're using the same animations. That makes sense why they're the same. Station at the statue scene and the escape. There are a few more jokes, like the Hardy Boys joke, escape, or uh, late straight for the most part. Most part. Uh, not most parts. Few jokes of Momoko being god obsessed, and some pop culture references like Hardy Boys, Hardy Boys, 80 Boy, Hardy Boys. That's about it. Uh, Not the wrestling team, the detective duo. Okay, 9:30. We're continuing. Okay, pause at 9:41. Okay, there's a few jokes. There's a few good jokes. Uh, when what's his name? When pervert does not want to find the cat, Satsuki guilt trips, which she does this in the dub as well, or in the sub as well. But obviously, she's not like, you feel bad. That cat was the last gift from our mother. You feel bad? Good. You should. That's great. Satsuki guilt trips. Uh, him like emphasizing that he that Kea the cat was the what it's not it wasn't a gift. It was like was it's not a gift because it like they just found a cat the same day her mother's funeral. So what would that be considered as? Not the two guilt trips in by emphasizing Kea the is cat is linked as one of the last living memories of their mother, and she really emphasizes. Um, then Momoko hopes that mother found the Jesus, or she'll be in hell. There we go. That's good. All right, continuing on from 9:41. Okay, all right. I'd like to I should just yeah. I'll just mention it. I record myself commentating over the stuff. Cat hiding behind a bucket as normal. Oh, the dog was the human head. What did they change for this one? God, so much voice talk. I mean, that's played normally. Okay, that's normal. The dog appears. I can pause at 10:25. The follows the moment path. I don't care about that. Okay. Um, Dogman played straight. Uh, Dogman played straight, and then I just like continuing on from 10:25. There's that joke where it's like where the Leo the nerd just went, "Why don't we follow our own paths?" I don't care about that joke. It's not a joke. Okay, 10:25. Bathroom, right? One will coach or something like. Yeah. Okay, forces them in. Positive 10:47. All right, one will go. uses the power of Christ to protect them as they enter the haunted bathroom. Okay, let us continue with this. So glad it, 10:52, keep playing. Ghost, they run. I have to say, uh, the Ghost Yak headless motorcycle rider rides past them. 11:21. I'll just something like he needs some head. He needs some head. So some of this isn't great. Some of this isn't great, but it is consistent with its jokes, at least. So yeah, I'm glad that people are sitting down, even if it's only watching for like a minute or two, or 30 seconds even. I'm glad that people are just tuning in just to listen to me ramble as I watch this very niche Japanese anime that wasn't very popular. Oh well. Anyways, continue on for my 11 minutes and 21 seconds. Especially when there's no audio. Because if I played audio, I'm pretty sure I'll just get um this video deleted or demonetized. Scissor Man chasing them, 11:31. That's pretty normal. They're just running. Uh, this is just like the English sub. They're just running. No jokes. No funny noises from the monster. Just them running in fear as the flying ghost man flies past them. Disappears. And then alright. That's just okay, so pause at 12:12. Techie techie. Techie techie scene. Like straight. I need to really clean up these notes. God, it's a lot, and I'm still half an episode in. Okay. Continuing on from 12:12. Doors locked. They're trapped. There was a joke there. Hold on. Okay, pause at 12:23. Leo, a glasses nerd, is Jewish, as has he hasn't had his bar mitzvah yet. It's this is like early mid 2000s English. When was Ghost Stories done? Let me search this real quick. Ghost Stories English dub. 2005. Okay. Uh, I am slightly concerned that this is a 2005 thing. I am concerned that this it's paused also. I think I said that. Just double checked. Paused at 12:23. Yeah, it said that. And this is a mid 2000s in dub. So all the jokes likely have a mix of that edgy, slightly what would you call it? Out of touch, over the top, mix of edgy, slightly out of touch. Um, so all the jokes might have that slightly out of touch element in them. I say that in concern, as the Jewish joke was made, and I can only see ad stereotypes occur. No one's talking a questionable accent yet, so that's good. But anyways, 12:23. Yeah, actually, I should mention that. In my notes, at least no questionable accents just yet. Anyways, years ago I was Chinese. Hopefully that doesn't appear here. Hopefully that level of inappropriate dubbing doesn't appear here right now. Okay, 1223. It'd be funny, but I don't think it would be great. Okay, so they're arguing, trying to find a way to escape. Laughter comes up. Something from comes from the roof. Commercial break. Cuts back. Red Goblin comes in. Okay. Okay. Pause. I actually did not notice. Pause 12:53. I did not notice Leo took a picture of that thing. Okay. Wow. If he has pictures of that, that really. I feel like that could be a plot point. Was the fact that he has so many. My microphone is on, right? You can hear me. Okay. I was looking at the screen. I was like, I don't think I'm talking. Okay, no. Okay, OBS is yeah. There's a slight delay between the YouTube and OBS, which made me concerned. I was just not talking. Okay, no question about access yet. What's this thing's called again? The demon. Oh God, I have to remember the demon's name. It's in the That's actually in this episode. What am I talking about? It's in the episode title. I just need to look at it. Amano Jaku. Oh yeah, Amano Jaku. Amano Jaku is here now. Um, Momoko recognizes it as a demon. Good. Alright, let's continue. 12:53. Okay. Uh, Play normally. Chandelier falls, nearly crushes them. Uh, Weird smiles. The lockets fall. Glass breaks. Okay. Uh, okay. Umbrellas come almost capture her. Uh, okay, pause at 13:47. Pause at 13:47. I'm thinking, do I stop and write something down? Not worth it. Continue. Uh, Manjaku becomes huge. Like, 1407, pausing for a second, just to mention out. Amajaku, uh, aside from a few small dialogue changes, Amajaku's intro is normal, as always. I don't know how I feel about the fact that it's played like 50% straight, 50% not even 50. It's like 60, 70% straight with like a few actual added little jokes and ad libs flubbed in here and added in here and there. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I prefer if this was just fully or like 80% jokes, 20% serious, following the main plot. Maybe at least it'll be better for me to write notes for. They're just running because their just change scene's just normal. Or at the 14:30 40 minutes 30 something seconds mark. Amajaku is looking for them. They hit him inside an old dilapidated classroom. This is played straight for the most part. See the cat again. They're in the principal's office. Yep, they see all the pictures. They find a portrait of the grandmother. who was the principal of the school. Uh, Pause at 15 minutes. Suki thinks her grandma is a lesbian. Yep, all I need to do. Wait, hold on. Actually, pause. Well, hold on. Because I was gonna say, like, they moved into their grandfather's home. Their mother passed away. Uh, so their grandmother was a principal of the school. We just saw one of their grandmothers was their grandfather in the house that they just moved into. So I'm gonna assume that the grandfather and the grandmother that we saw on screen, interacting with their father, were from the father's side, and this is from the mother's side. This grandmother is from the mother's side, whom is has already passed. I'm guessing. Otherwise, this makes no sense. Okay. So interesting. Sorry, I feel about this, but interesting. Um, Continuing on from 15-minute mark. Actually, pop 1504 or 1505. I should actually mention write this part down. So one thing, just of I'm guessing this grandma is from mother's side. The other two we saw were from the father's side. So earlier. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Homicide, continuing on. 1505. Yeah. Introduction to the grandmother. I'm getting hungry. And I've still got one more episode to talk about. Ugh. Hold on. Oh, what the oh, hold on. It's pause at 1527. There's a deep layered joke there. Alright, let me read, listen, go back. Oh god. Okay. Momoko canonically met um actually let me play this full. Uh, okay. Okay. 1534. Okay. Pause at 1534. Met Satsuki's mother at a homosexual conversion place facility. That tracks for both, I guess. So, huh. Okay, the grandmother. Okay, yeah, old people being, you know, homosexual but having children. That make being gay and having children. That makes sense. That's the thing that does commonly happen, which they either did know, didn't know, or weren't allowed to express themselves properly, so they had to do traditional families and weren't really happy with that. Okay. Ah, okay. 1834, we'll continue. Okay. Pause at 1548. Let's switch. Sense. character in this reality. Little brother doesn't know what a lesbian is. Or should he? Nor should he should not know what a lesbian is, actually. That's good for his health, I think. Anyways, continuing on from 15 minutes and 48 seconds of the first episode of the English dub. Alright, he comes in, breaks in. They try to fight back. And try to escape, I mean. It chases after them. Uh, alright. Who attack is blade. Wait. Alright, Amana Jaku, pause at 1623. The Amana Jaku. Played pretty straight. Uh, continue on, I guess. Continue on. 1624. Alright, yeah, she's just reading how to defeat the Jaku. Okay. Yep, they realize this is how they can defeat the ghost. Momoko's is we're just zealot. I don't think I need to really write a joke about that. I write that. Sorry. Pause at 1649. Okay. That cross. Or cross. Alright, pause. Okay. Momoko really obsessed with Jesus. So that's her gimmick, and I'm sure I won't be tired of this by the second episode. Alright. 1655, continuing on. Right. Yaku comes in, chases after them, they run to another house. Being sassy. Uh, Still going live, right? Yeah, that's good. Very good. Alright. Uh, just doing stuff, playing it straight. Chases after them, they built the circle, they lit the thing on fire, and they start chanting. It comes and attacks them. The punishment is very straightforward. Jaku is banished pretty normally. Anything else that's special that happens aside from just Jaku's? Yeah, I mean this banishment is just normal. Jaku complaining about the book. That's just like the show, just like the original Japanese. Real loud. I should lower the volume for me. Okay. The audio is kind of not imbalanced. I just realized Jaku's real loud. Other people not that loud. Okay, they escape. Pretty normal. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, pause. Okay, that's a fun joke. 1904. Uh, the little brother. I will, if I choose to, I will change the little brother name to his actual name if I feel like it when I come back to this. Um, brother is now just whining, just babbling. But thankfully, Satsuki understands his noises. That's a relatively fun joke. Okay, that's a pretty decent joke. 1904. Continuing. Oh God, I got another episode of this. This is not good enough for me to. God, this is not varied enough from the original for me to actually be entertained by. Like it's for the most part just the same as the sub. Just a couple of extra jokes, which makes it better. But I was hoping for something better than this, more infamous than this, more memorable, maybe even more offensive. At least I could have stuff to talk about. But this is just okay. I'm gonna finish this episode and I'll add some of my thoughts. Yeah, they become. Yeah, the mountain's been chopped down for the tree that's meant to seal Amanjaku got destroyed by the construction workers because they're plowing a new area. As they're plowing a new area, okay. Manajaku, yeah, scared of Manajaku because yeah, the forest is being destroyed, so all the old ghosts are now getting freed and roaming the area around, and they have to reseal them. This didn't get played straight. Okay, yep, Manajaku's now sealed in the soul of the cat. Uh, okay, pause. Okay, so 2118 when the teacher comes in and goes, "Hey, go home, you sillies." He has that, how do I say, that gay lisp cliche, a gay, like stereotypical gay person talk. Is that bad for me assuming? I mean, that is the joke. That is the intention right there. Okay. So, how do I want to write this? How do I want to say this? I guess noises. They leave like before. They discover time displacement, placements, and Amanjaku is now stuck in a cat. Stuck in a cat. That's that. Everything is pretty one to one. One to one with the sub till the teacher tells them to leave as he talks with a stereotypical gay voice. Gay twinge? It's not quite a voice. Gay voice. Uh, voice slash twinge. I'll finish this episode, then I'll explain my opinions of the first episode. Hopefully, it gets better in episode two. Cat runs away. Demon cat runs away. And then, yeah, the big ghost is possessing the cat. And episode's just gonna end normally. I'll move on to episode two. Before I move on to episode two, I will write my opinion. Okay, that's very outro, outro, outro. Uh, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so finish the first episode. Uh, First thoughts. Bit of a shame that it's played mostly straight. and is a decent adaptation of the English of the Japanese version. Japanese uh episode of this episode. It had a few ad lib lines. Momokoto has a drastic change from the original, but that's mostly because she just existed in the first episode. So they would play with her personality a bit. Same with the brother. Uh, a lot more nonsense. He's a lot more nonsensical. A lot more nonsensical, but also doesn't do much. So they can play with it. All right. Well, I need to remember. I need to remember. They're obviously dubbing everything one episode at a time. So there's a very good chance that as they get stir crazy sitting inside those voice acting booths, each episode will become drastically stupider than the last. At least that's what I hope so, because right now, as I begin episode 2, I could really use some more creative jokes. Okay. Uh, I'm the dub. Okay. Bravo, just starting episode 2. We're playing episode 2. We're 5 seconds in already. Okay, pause at 12:16. References and jokes. Uh, it's it's episode 2. The dub. Dub. Intro similar. Intro is similar. Just minor complaint. Just addition of a worker mentioning uh Starbucks and other. Let me read did a joke just so I can. Pause at 16 seconds. Yeah, Starbucks and other um popular franchises, uh, stores and franchises complaining about times changing, old man. All right, continuing on from 16 seconds. Okay. 25 minutes, 25 seconds in of episode 2. Okay. Okay. So workers are a bit fattier in this version. Uh, this time. Okay, hold on. Pause. Actually, no, that's actually a great change. Pause at 54 seconds because this time the reason the dude gets the runs isn't because of um man, I am sleepy. Uh, because of it being a bit cold, but because he ate something his stomach doesn't agree with, which is actually a narrative improvement than, oh, I feel cold, than, oh, I feel cold. Good job, Dub. Okay, let us continue. 54 seconds of episode 2. Monster grabs the construction worker. Intro music plays. Blah 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 blah. Skipping the intro music till we hit 2 minutes 40, 41, and counting. Okay. Amanjaku is a lot louder and boisterous. 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 Oh, the 315. Okay. Not boisterous. A lot louder, boisterous, and I guess cooler. He's a lot like the English. Okay, how do I explain this? Because the English sub of Amanjaku at this shrill. Like, is it called shrill? Is that a voice? Is that the right explanation of that voice? Kind of a shrill to that scream and yelling. Very loud, very yelly, but like kind of like higher pitched and not boisterous, and gives off a different feel than the sub. The sub voice was higher pitched, scratchy, and shrill. This is deeper and more. How do I say that? Explain this voice. It's not. It's not. Not. Uh. It's not like deep, deep, but it's deeper. It's more adult-like, I guess. Like this character sounds like a dude with a decent head on his shoulders. He sounds he sounds capable of doing stuff more so than the you know kind of cartoony villain voice for the sub, as these two characters are fulfilling different roles. Okay. Continuing on. 320. Okay. Same thing. Cat Martins Satsuki. Okay, things are normal. They just walk in. They go down, walking to school. Cat's following them. Why was that sun actually subbed? Why that sign is not actually important to be English sub? Water. Okay. I'm just watching the signs because it's just very normal. 4:36 seconds in also. Alright, the can thing. Hits her with the can. She trips. Okay. Stop at 449. The things are normal. And the original. The ballroom Suki is a bit more comedic with the slow-mo yell and the fall and utter of pain. All right, there we go. Getting on from 449. All right, nerd and pervert are still there. Back to normal. Hold on. Oh, geez. Okay. Uh, Nerd Boy mentions. Okay, hold on. I need to re-listen to that. 504. Ooh. Mentions how Satsuki is dumb, basically. And then says, "You know what the Harvard presidents said about girls and science? What do you? Okay, uh, Harvard. Okay, what did girls in Harvard? What did the principal of Harvard, the president or the president or principal? Okay, pause at 507. How I said about girls and science. Ah, okay. 2005, January 2005. Then Harvard President Lawrence Summers suggested an economic conference that innate biological differences in aptitude and variability between men and women might be partly to explain why the lower number of female scientists. Oh, uh, no. Okay. Uh, outperform. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's not. That's oh wow, that Harvard president is okay. Well, okay, January 18th, it was reported that the Harvard president made the argument that men outperform women in math and science fields and engineering. That's why there's more of them in the field of study than women. And then the day after, he makes a letter of apology and says he did not think that girls are oh individually. Okay, I need to read into this. Okay, letter of president for Sound Women's Science makes his apology. Strongly committed to our stance. I was wrong in the way it's spoken. As a result of discouragement of talented girls and women. Uh, compelling emails. A lot of hmm. Oh Jesus. Okay. Learnings to use some strides forward in attracting women in front of rank science of progress, lesson, even slow. Whereas the university cover that is not what you said. That is not what you said. Recent years have been strides to attract more progress overall, but frustratingly uneven and slow. That's not what you said. That is not what you said. Uh, okay. Uh, oh. Great ranges, player sounds about those. We must do all we can to nurture the overnight. Hmm. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Let me just note that down. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, oh, oh boy. Uh, God. 2005. Well, that tracks. Uh, well, okay. I did force him to spend, at least on from what the letter says, $25 million into new funds to avoid budget constraints and appointing outstanding scholars for underrepresented groups, including women and minorities. Okay. And then, okay, hold on. Lawrence Summers. Uh, ah, professor of Harvard University. Oh, well, hmm. I just quickly looked at his Google search. Google search, saw Wikipedia. A special connection between this Summers man and Jeffrey Epstein. Ooh, wow. This moved into a kind of depressing tangent. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Uh, okay. So yeah, you know that 2005 apology letter? It sounded slightly ingenuine due to the fact that he contradicted what he said. Um, yeah. Okay. 2017. Okay. Uh, Mickey Lawrence Summers. Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh God. I this episode of Ghost Stories led me to watching or reading up about Lawrence Summers and his connection with Jeffrey Epstein, and how in 2017 he continued to believe that the IQ of women was lower than men. Um, and also he expressed dislike of men getting in trouble for hitting on women. Wow. Um, yeah, what the heck? Uh, wow. Okay. And he is no longer professor of Harvard, as that makes sense due to, oh my God. Okay, so before things get any worse and sadder, I'm gonna stop reading about Larry Summers right now. I'll go back to him. And what the heck? Oh my God. Go back to ghost stories. Okay. 507. Let's pretend that Lawrence Summers thing never happened. Uh 507 from episode 2 of Ghost Stories Dub. Let's continue. Okay, yep. Uh third boy is Jewish joke. We are reminded of their boy their boy is Jewish. Alright. Okay. Pause at 549. Well, continue from 549. Alright. Pervert. Still a pervert. Yeah. Alright. 6:15. Continuing on. Nothing special's happened. Hold on. Whoa, what the hell? Charlie Sheen. Uh, alright, yeah. Oh yeah, mid 2000s when he was a bit of a, substance abuse. That was from, yeah. God, it's just being forced to, oh, hmm. Wow, that Charlie Sheen joke aged, hmm, well, uh, well, I mean, Okay. Well, okay, that was 2017 claims, but nothing came out of it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so at least 2017, there's nothing bad that came from it. Well, mm, okay, well, reading about these guys really. Let's just continue on. I need to take a note of the Charlie Sheen joke and move on. All right. Let me just quickly type that down. Sheen joke. Birds distance. Rest of the scene follows. Sub. Okay, continuing on. 624. Yeah. What's going on? Is something lagging? The audio, pause at 641. The audio is going slightly funky for me. One sec. Pause at 6. Okay. Okay, yep, 648. The scene where they try to figure out how to get Kaya back from. Oh God, I got hit by what the heck? That's those aged poorly or too way too those things those jokes aged either too poor too way too well or too poorly. Uh, I'm an Ojaku. From Amano Jaku. Okay, figure out to get cat back from Jaku. Mojo Moko thing that uh that Suki's mom deserves to be in hell. Why is she in the homosexual conversion camp as well? Why is Momoko there too? That leaves me questions. Deserves to be in hell. And also has the gift of God. Holy powers. Holy powers. Okay. Yep. Alright. 650, we're continuing. God, my audio is really. Hold on, let me refresh. Let me close and open this thing back up because it is not great. Geez, I'm 702 because the volume's just not great. Uh, there we go. 705, continuing on. Okay. Okay, 726. Uh, Satsuki, after reading about how feel like ghosts, complains that her mother made it so hard. Okay, continuing on from 726. Yeah, the mountain, the same plot line. If the mountain's being destroyed, being renovated, then all the trapped ghosts are coming back. Okay. 750. Okay, that's a joke. That's a decent joke. Okay. Pervert complains in the bathroom to nerd about how he flashed him uh and nerd boy is scared of getting an erection. Okay. That's the joke. That's good. It makes me laugh. All right. 1050. What the Oh my lord. Okay. Okay. I did not see that coming. Um hmm. Do I even write this joke? I feel like this is the under sex joke. Do I mention? I'll figure it out when I get back to that. Kick that can along. 758. Right. Go back for a bit. Oh wait. 8 minutes. Apparently. That's fifth grade, so not even no. Not even middle school. Well, fifth to sixth grade. This elementary school is full of hoes. Oh, that's oh god. Ugh. Don't like that. Ugh, don't like that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'll keep that joke or not. Let's see how appropriate. I'll think about how appropriate that joke is. I've got ethics and morals, man. Okay. Okay. Pause at 8:11. Uh, pervert needs to poop. They make poop jokes. That's it. That's all it is. Man, I'm really hungry. I should be done with this in the next half hour, I hope. Flood happens, water drowns nearly everyone. Uh, can I give me a napkin? It's my napkin. Okay, actually, I should mention pause at 8:49. Teacher, teacher, voice actor is low energy. Sure, that will play into what happens later. Okay. Uh, that's it. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. 850. Yeah, play normally. Teacher goes to the bathroom. Okay, gotta pause that. Uh, 9:39. Pause as a joke of teacher complains that debates that Teach, teacher going to bathroom wonders if he should have peed down the uh, teacher lounge sink or someone coffee instead. Then, when the ghost asks him for toilet paper, uh, he doesn't take it seriously. Oh, well, that's pretty normal. There's a few, little bit more character. Okay. Gets grabbed by the monster, screams, and then teacher. Alright, 10:30. Okay, 10:34. I'm going to add another note. Uh, toilet paper, then, mm, or less. Let's say, so, okay, what happened? Alright, uh, and the principal wonders where the teacher is. Uh, the nerd instead starts talking about a conspiracy that teachers are aware of the it. All right, continue from 10:34. Oh, oh, okay. Pause at 10:55. This is where did it is implied that the teacher. Oh my God! Speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, God. Oh wow. Okay, teacher. Uh, at the girls' locker room by the principal. You hired this man. Why did you allow him to stay? Okay, let's continue. Okay. The cat talking about the ghost is normal. Okay. Okay. Yeah, pause at 11:36. Uh, next scene. And brother wets himself. He begins to babble again, but Suki understands. I do not, however. Go. All right. All right. Okay. Let's continue on. 11:36. All right, yep, they go. She goes after the ghost because she made the brother wet himself. Use the forest. Just key in the forest. Yeah. All right. Mm, No. Pause at 12:26, and I need to write some notes down. And it needs to banish all ghosts. I know this already. Ghosts to free. Okay, the cat. Um, well, also she likes Bob Marley. Alright, 12:27. Wait, hold on. Pause at 12:30. Yeah, no, just keep going. Pause at 12:34, because actually there, I think, like, legitimately, there is, like, the implication of what's it called? Let that V number change, whatever. Bob Marley. I'm 12:36. Where am I? At 12:34, I mean, pause momentarily because uh, principal catches nerd and sort of makes a prison new meat joke. Okay. I'll expound later. 12:34, continuing. Okay. A lot of droplets. They're searching through the building. Okay, the joke of him needing to use the bathroom. Oh yeah, the exploding butt joke. Oh yeah, exploding butt joke. If they hold in their okay. 13:30 and still playing. Oh, pause. 13:38. Can't protect drums from a gang of drunk witches is a good insult. I need to use that myself. Continue on 13:38. Oh yeah, the human anatomy doll that is also possessed. Scream. They run. Trips on the broom. Yeah, pervert trips on broom. The broom smacks and destroys the uh object in two. I need to pee. I might pause this. Oh yeah, Inuyasha music. I'm gonna pause this momentarily. I'll be back as I go and use the bathroom. Uh, be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm on. This 8 more minutes of this, and I'll be free. This is definitely a better episode than the first one. I do see the improvements in the dub, so I do feel like me, the dub is getting a bit stir crazy, and then proceeding to just uh play around with the voices and stuff a lot more. I'm on Janko Joku, whatever. Does seem like more of a solid character than before. When he possessed a cat, at least. Okay, 15 minutes, 10 seconds. I'll pause real quick. So yeah, Ama Junko definitely feels like more fleshed out, more under fleshed out uh character in episode 2 than he did in episode 1 when he possessed Kea the cat. And now I'm just gonna continue. 15:10. All right. Uh, okay, Hana comes in. Um, Let me explain. This still played straight. This still played pretty straight and simple. It could be better with jokes. Uh, Ghost warns him not to go to the place. Momoko gets dragged into the toilet hell. They yank Momoko out of toilet hell. He is free from toilet hell. Quick pause at 16:18, as I just want to say, eh, the dialogue is easier to digest as there are light jokes sprinkled in animation's not any different. Handcuffs grabs him, perverts drag it into hell. Ooh, okay. Satsuki, very catty, is okay. Uh, red paper, blue paper, yellow Charmin paper. His reply. Is that Inuyasha music? Is it Inuyasha music? Anyways, he falls into hell. Okay. Yep, he's dangling. Yeah. Alright, waiting for the response. Okay. Alright. The folks fun of how Satsuki keeps forgetting he has the book of solutions with her in these situations. Oh God. Pause at 1828 because Pervert was assaulted by his babysitter. Consider. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That explains a lot, actually. Okay. Huh. That- That's a lot more character depth given to him here than the sub, unintentional or otherwise. Wow. Poor kid. Poor pervert. Abused by his babysitter. Wow. Okay, the babysitter touched him when she really shouldn't have. Oh my god. 1928. Let's continue. Ugh. All right, they got the bottle. They wrote the stuff on it. They chant Tatsuki's chant. She needs water. Here's the whole, here she needs water. Okay, is she gonna cry, or are they gonna make a piss joke, or is she going to spit in it? What's the joke? All right, all right. Give her, give me a hand joke. They're still gonna have her cry, right? Yeah. So she cries into the bottle, and then what? Why are you complaining? Why? I'm a Juko. Why are you complaining about them beating the ghost if you gave her a bunch of advice to beat the ghost already? That makes no sense. You literally gave her the advice to defeat this thing, and now you're complaining that you gave her the advice to defeat this thing? Anyways, the ghost is trapped into the bottle, sealed, his soul sealed shut, and they're freed from hell. What's the joke? Okay. Yeah, right. 12:18, continuing on. Okay. Um, okay, that episode was, well, it's nearing close. Yeah. Explain how the big evil spirit, uh, it's a weird way to ask for help. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun. Oh, okay. Hold on. Pause at 12:108 as I'm nearly finished this episode. That's strangling noise is fun. Strangling. Okay. Nice. Continue on for 21:08. Okay. All right. Yeah. Offering Juko the deal to help them to banish the ghosts. Yeah. Cat runs. All right. We're Oh, that's just how the episode ends. Hillary Hagg, Chris Patton, Greg Ayres, Monica Rial, Christian Uten, Rob. I recognize some of these. Tommy Drake, John. Okay, so Emily McCoy, Blake Shepard. I recognize some of these voices. How many? Jesus, wait, hold on. What the? John Corp, Rod Peters, Charlie Hay. How many were the classmates? Were there? That was like 15, 20, 18 names were the roles of the classmates. Were there that many classmates? They didn't even they just laughed. You need really that many? Surely like 10 would have been enough, not like 18, whatever. I mean, I guess, jeez. Oh my god, there's yeah, the students in the Japanese voice dub cast only had 3 guys. There was only 3 people playing the students in the English dub. Oh, in the Japanese version. They had like 18 people act as a laugh track for whatever reason. Alright, so anyways, that episode's over. I finally finished the first 2 episodes. This one took a few minutes less than the original Japanese sub, I guess. There's slightly less notes. There's less notes I need to take because the fact that, I already took the notes for the plot beats earlier. Um, yeah, I need to give up a final conclusion of this thing. Uh, yeah. That's aside from a few snide remarks, episode ends normally. Have to say, I'll come up with a more uh conclusive conclusion later. But right now, I have to say, all if you had to pick between the English sub or dub to watch the dub. The show's not that good. Not that good. Watch the dub over the sub. Show's just not that good. Uh, good. And the spin with the jokes do add more. Some of it, it's as it unintentionally slash maybe intentionally adds more character to the more generic ones. Because like Momokoto being a religious zealot is more of a character than weird quiet girl who is just there and is someone that Satsuki can talk to. The little brother who just goes around and cries a lot proceeds to just cry a bit more. Uh, those are both character improvements to the more basic characters. Uh, you know, they made Leo a Jew, which um yeah, no that I mean they can make Jewish jokes now, jokes about Jewish people now, which that's not good. That's not the good thing. They make jokes about her being Christians, like the difference between yes, Makoto is a um Christian zealot, but like to the point where it's like to an insane level, while like Leo's whole thing is, oh yeah, he's also a Jew, which is um not great, I don't think. The fact that one of the characters is like he's crazily fanatical, that's a good joke. The other guy just happens to be Jewish, and that's the main joke. Not as good. Uh Overall though, pretty interesting. And I need to now finish this up. I'm gonna properly write a thing, write my opinions, rewatch this, rewatch my recording, use clips of it, edit down a video. And then I don't know if I am going to finish this whole series. God, that was 2 long episodes, 2 very long episodes, and I had to rewatch these when I make the video of me reviewing the two properly. And I do not look forward to that. I think I'll just go insane if I had to go forward with that. So I've make the video with these 2 episodes of the English sub, watching the English sub and then watching the English dub. And then afterwards we'll see if I feel like watching any more of those stories. Because I'll be honest, really don't. I might do something else and then do episodes 3 and 4 of those stories. We shall see. But for the most part, if you're gonna watch this, watch the English dub. It follows, as actually surprisingly follows the main story of those stories pretty succinctly and pretty not what's the word? uh, not traditional. It follows the plot lines of ghost stories and it follows the main dialogue and the main character arcs. Well, the main plot line and the main character dialogue pretty succinctly, like pretty loyally follows everything. It's just the slight changes that do occur are just some added jokes, some added references, which, again, it's things that you probably would expect in any dub, make references to modern English stuff or Western stuff that you might recognize. There's a few more jokes, but the jokes are most are better. It builds more characters for these characters because some of these characters really have nothing going on for them. So actually, yeah, no, I could say with confidence that the dub is much better and watch the dub because the Japanese sub is of Ghost Stories is just boring. Um, anyways, I need to end the stream now, and I am going to start editing and recording editing this video and start recording myself talking about this video and finish up the script. So until then, uh, this is gonna be my main project, and so wait for that upload. Hopefully, it'll be out in a week or two. Till then, this is Captain Will signing off. See ya.